Alrighty. Hello, guys. Just making sure everything's working. Are we live? We are live. Awesome. Alright. Just give me a second. Cool. Okay, guys. Today we'll be adding, or we'll attempt to add at least, egui to our custom game engine. This is just a drop-in replacement. Down the line, hopefully we could write our own solution. I plan to make well, it would be nice to make a custom UI framework from scratch. But for now, we just want to get things working as fast as possible. All the code we have at the moment for the engine should just be seen as like a rough draft, just a first pass to get an MVP out. And then after that, after we have that, we could start cleaning up some code, thinking about how we want to change that, thinking about changing the API, and I plan to start using it as soon as possible to work on a tower defense that I later want to port down to another game engine. But yeah, let's get into it. So let's ask ChatGPT. I'm using Winnet plus Web GPU. Let's just make sure we know the name of the crate. I do believe it is egui. I've used it once before just for a tiny little test, and I was like, wow, it's so good. It's incredible what you could get in open source sometimes. Like they have an online demo, examples, quick start demo. Yeah, and here you can see everything that's possible with the egui. It's pretty crazy. It's got a whole bunch of nice features. Cool. Last time I know it's possible because last time I did have the first time I ever made a web GPU, like Hello World, I did use egui as well, just to see how hard it would be to use and add it to a web GPU project. And I remember it being quite simple, but that was a while ago. So yeah, let's ask ChatGPT. I don't want to do research on stream, so it doesn't look right, but we'll see. Okay. Did I not middle mouse click on this? What? See, ChatGPT fumbled the link or something. Okay. Okay, so apparently if I go to the egui GitHub, I should be able to see an example using WebGPU and egui. Oh, there we go. This is what was last time. Integrations. Da 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 da. Yeah. Official integrations. All right, this is in the official egui. Okay, this seems right. It's a bit different than I remember, but I must be remembering something else. All right, let's go to our project. And this terminal over here will just be doing, we'll just use this terminal to run our project. Sample. Okay, we've still got, so at the moment, the example, what it does is it just renders like 10,000 sprites that look at your mouse as you move it, just to show that it's working. And yeah, so we've got that over there. Let's go over here and do cargo add egui dash web GPU, was it? Seems like it, yeah. See the official name, yeah, dash. All right, egui dash web GPU, egui win it. I don't remember if you should use a comma separated list. I think this is good though, looks fine. Yeah, let's see. We've got, yeah, it looks right. Okay, so should be able to get going. Oh, let me just open Git. Unlock my private Git. So the project isn't hosted publicly yet. For now, we're just going to work on it in a private repo until it's actually something that could be useful for other people. Cool. Let's see. Hmm. Just call it egui. Okay. So we have three states that we want to store. One for winit, so egui can handle winit integration, winit events, and then we want to have a render state. So they basically wrote it seems like they wrote a renderer that's uses web GPU for egui, and then they wrote a state that updates based on specifically winit events. And yeah, we just kind of seems like we just pass through all the winit events and then use the egui renderer after we rendered our scene ourselves. Um, and then the actual egui crate should just be probably just be the UI framework without the actual implementation behind it. Um, I mean, like for the integration with the renderer and the windowing system. Cool. Let's see. So we got a extract. Let's just call it egui state. Inside here, inside of this, let's do public crate. And then we'll do we do want to store and build up a context. Okay. Do context. Oh, okay. Just trying to think. Cool. So this is just a little container for our three fields over here. I don't think we'll be writing anything else for that. So just go to our actual winit state. And over here, just thinking, we might actually not put it all in one struct. We might split it up. I'll just put this into dark mode for you guys. There we go. Okay, so Okay. Hmm. So this is where we create the window, and then after that, we could probably create our egui. Minute state. Um, okay, we do need to store our egui context as well. Hmm. Let's go. Let's just go like this. Oh, we don't need that. So over here, we'll remove the renderer for now. Let's just remove it entirely. So we'll leave it there just with the comment. Let's just type it out. I'm getting more and more inclined to just, if I only use something once or twice, just type out the full path. Cool. I'll just call egui state. There we go. Just rename it like that. Cool. And then over here, we want to make a new egui state. Excuse me. And then context new. Was it? Default, okay, makes sense. And then egui winner, state new, there we go. Extract that. Yeah, it's a handle that we can clone, I guess. Go. I need to clone it there. Cool. Viewport ID. Okay. Display target window. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Over here, we um, whatever. Get to that in a second. Native pixels per point. They have that example. Oh, this is optional. That's good. And this. Go. So really sufficient. I mean, I could just pop all this up here and clone that one last time, but yeah, it increases the arc reference count one more time temporarily and then drops it at the end. That's fine. That's fine. Trying not to be too perfectionistic about it. Cool. Okay, so we've got our egui and egui winnet state set up. What we want to do now is go into our actual render state. So if we go here, render state, as you can see, we save it up here in our own our own winnet application state. We save a custom field, we just have a custom struct we call render state. And in here we do all our rendering. Just kind of break things down a bit. And here we can add egui render state. There we go. We should get an error, so we'll just jump to that. Over here, we want to do a that's wrong. Should be we'll go agree with you renderer new. you can see, we'll take a reference to our device. Mismatch in types. It's a bit unlucky. We've got expected device, found device. If we go to web GPU, egui web GPU, let's see which version of web GPU it's using in the background. Sorry, it should depend on a, would be a Winnet device. No, it is a, sorry, your web GPU device. So if we go to egui web GPU, let me just go into search. There we go, found it. It's depending on web GPU version 27.01. We are on version 28. I don't really want to downgrade, but let's see. We are on the latest version of egui. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Do we get a million errors, or is our old code still compatible? Oh, it should be. It's just a minor version bump, not a major. Unless we're using some new features released in WebGPU version 28. Oh, it is a major jump, what am I saying? Let's restart the LSP. And yeah, that error goes away. But do we have a bunch of different other errors now? Yes, we do. So map filter mode is unhappy. Doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, I'm just trying to think if it's worth it to still go with the web GPU. Yeah, it's probably fine. Whatever. Try to fix that other stuff in a second. Okay, so if it doesn't work well, we could always just backtrack and try something else. So we've got output color format. So we do know what that is. Should be that. Yeah. Render options, what's that? Hmm. Alrighty. That should be good. Okay, so let's just create a new branch. How do I do that in branch? Oops. Just go to 3 over here and do new branch. Let's do um, I think we'll commit everything over on this branch or feature branch yet. Just do and then over here we want to include all this. And I want to fix all the errors that popped up. Push range constants. I think we could leave this empty. Set of push range constants this pipeline uses. Couple response. Oh, we don't want push constants. Okay, and then over here, what's the next one? Mm. be fine. Seems like we got that working. Okay. Um. Okay, so we've created our three states: our egui context, our egui winnet state, and egui web GPU state. What we need now is actually start a render pass for egui UI, I believe. Yeah, we did that. We'll get lifetime now. So start by passing events through. Over here, yeah, window event, there we go. So before we handle any events, let's pass the window event through to our egui context and update that. So was it, yeah, it should be egui winnet state. So egui state and then render state. We can't access that. Egui. At this point, this should be initialized no matter what. This is not good code, but I'll leave it there just to get this thing working. Go. Oh, and then yeah, let's only handle events if egui doesn't actually consume them. Cool, so that should update egui based on the user input. Now we actually want to render. Now we actually want our developer user, like the user of our library, to be able to build up a UI and render that. Um, so this is where we'll pass a. This is where we tell the user we're about to render, and they can implement their own code. But right before this, we want to begin an egui frame and let them build UI with it. Um, but yeah, it's quite a unfortunate that egui is not using the latest version of WebGPU. I wonder how long it lags behind. But yeah, this is why it's always best if you could go without using dependencies. Begin pass. An alternative to calling. Let's just align view to top. Let's do that. So let's see. There's an alternative to calling self.run. Hmm. Okay. So I kind of want to put this egui stuff under a feature flag, but that's okay. I'll do that another time if I end up like the whole egui thing is just temporary anyways. Hopefully. So we got egui. Okay, so what does the stuff return over here? On the beginner pass, and then yeah, we just want to pass over the egui context. That's all the user needs to start building a UI for themselves. Okay. Um. So if we go over to our own example game, you'll see that we implement the game trait for example game, and that's how we pass through this over here. This we call pre-render on our game, and that's like a render update, or just update in Unity, or in Godot that would be process. We could choose any name we like for the callback, but for now I'm just calling it pre-render because that's when it happens. I'm gonna not play this finger click sound anymore because it's driving me crazy. um, but now we should be able to access egui and start building up a UI. Build egui. Just put that in a big block and say How do you make UI with this? Okay, so we could do something like egui window new, let's call it inventory. Add content, so we have UI and then we add content. So we do UI.label shield. So something like that, something to that effect. And then we could do, yeah, let's do, let's add our FPS in here as well, just for fun. Do print my FPS somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Different FPS. There we go. I need to call format. Which inside here. There we go. Cool. So that's how should be able to build UIs. Now we actually need to render the UI. So the egui context builds up. We build our UI inside the egui context. We have the egui winit state where we pass in all our window events, and that and then we use both of those. Well, we use the input and then what was I gonna say? Yeah, and then when we actually get our UI that we built in our egui context, we use the input to I'm so confused. Let's see. So over here we begin. I'm just wondering how this knows whether the event was consumed before we've built our UI. Oh well. I was trying to explain it, but I don't understand it myself. Let's just keep going. So over here we let the user actually define what the UI is gonna look like. In my head, I would assume you need to do that before you could see if it consumed any input, like if the mouse clicks and it's over a button, consumed should be true. But how does it know before you actually let the user build the UI? Oh well, maybe it uses the UI that the user built in the last frame. So the input handling is always delayed by one frame, it seems. I guess that's what's going on. And then, okay, and then so we tell the user to build a UI. And over here we do our actual rendering inside our game engine. So we call render on our own render state. And if we go over here, inside our render state, we already store the egui winit state. I mean egui wgpu state, which is just called egui wgpu renderer. Yeah. And we might need to pass through our context here as well. Okay, so we build the UI. Oh, we need to end the frame. Egui context end frame. Egui state. Handle platform. I don't know what all this does, but whatever. Okay, so we're not done over here. So we begin our egui pass for building the egui UI. It's not the render pass. And then over here, end egui UI building pass. Then we have to do egui state dot handle platform output. That is so weird. I don't know what that does. Hmm. Okay. Oh, I didn't even finish rating. There we go. Interesting. So, this is pretty cool. This enables you to, if the user clicks on a link or something like that, it'll tell the operating system to open that link in a browser or copy text to the clipboard and stuff like that. Update the cursor. I guess if you click on certain things, you want to move the user's cursor to like the center of a panel and stuff like that. Okay. Cool. So this is kind of feeds back into the operating system, like does stuff based on the egui UI. That's cool. We could leave it out, but then you don't have all the nice features of like, if we go to the example, where's the example? Demo. So if we do Control C here, we're copying, and if we click on like a link, like here, this is a link, it'll take us to a page. That's what all this is doing. This over here, handle platform output. So you could leave it out, I guess, but then you won't be able to do any of that. Cool. So we're done with that. Let's move on and actually do our rendering. Okay, and then we actually want to use our context. Okay, so firstly, we want to do our usual rendering stuff. And then after that, we want to do a new render pass just for our UI, our egui UI. So before we call frame.present, let's put it in a block. So we can select it easily and jump up and down. Hmm. I cannot remember where I actually need to store or get my screen size. Mm, oh, it's my surface configuration. Okay. Cool. Okay, we got that. And then tessellate. That's a bit tricky. What do I do there? I need the full output. Hmm. Probably doesn't need to be immutable. Neither does that. Go to where this is being used and fix this stuff. So would be good. Runnable. Yeah. Cool. I think that'll be okay. Okay, so down here should have everything we need. Guess we could just move it in. We're probably not using it again. There we go. Pixels per point. I'm guessing we do. Mm, okay, so we want to make our own. this one, egui encoder. Cool. And then we paint jobs. Oh, we want to save this stuff. There we go. Okay. So we want to start a render path. I don't remember how to do that. We don't want to clear, we want to load the previous stuff. I think we're good. Argument requires render path. No, I do have codecs, I think. Let me see. I'm just gonna pause my screen for a second. Cool. Mm, what? Did I miss something, bro? Like, what? Alright. That's what I did do, but it didn't work. What? me see what I did up here. So this seems to work just fine. So I don't know why it would not be fine over here. um let's go to the start. This returns a command buffer. I'm not sure if I should be using that. Do they have an example? All right. Close that. That's not working. Hmm. Okay. There we go. I mean, we should be at a point where this just works. Let's see. Oh, dang it, bro. Okay, so at line 130, our egui state hasn't been initialized. What? Okay, well that's good. Let's go to. So we go to resumed. This is where we create the egui state, and we never save it. Okay, cool. There we go. It's running, but I don't see any UI pop up. Hmm. Oh, man. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out why we're not having anything rendered. Let's use one encoder. We can create a new one just for egui. Hey, it works. It works. All right. Yo, let's go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy that just works. Cool, we can move on. Because this is kind of throwaway code still. So we really do not want to spend too much time on it, but that wasn't too bad. We've been live for how long have we been live? We've been live for an hour and 40 minutes. It's not too bad. We got it done. Finished rendering. There we go. Awesome. Okay, could merge this branch. And then we should be good. Merge. We want to do it the other way around. So we want to check this out, and then we want to merge Hmm. We'll leave this for later. All right, guys. That's it for today. We did what we set out to do. We added egui support to our game engine. So now, from the viewpoint of a user, this is how you build UI. Pretty simple. You start a new window, you pass in a egui context. This is what we pass over to the user. And yeah, so should be very simple for them to get basic UI up and running. And hopefully now we can start doing a bit of cleanup in the engine, maybe changing a bit of the UI, and then get to working on a tower defense using the engine. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for anyone watching, and catch you guys next stream.